looking at the target patient population that will receive the drug after the clinical trial. So if the body of the patients are of a certain age group, if the body of the patients are of a certain gender, if there is known differences across the epidemiology of patients, you need to have that full breadth of those patients. Unfortunately, we all know that historically, it was primarily white middle-aged men who would have received the drug.
Over the age of 40, 50 or 55?
Over the age of 40, actually.
Yeah.
No, not over the age of 55. And that's a challenge as well, because from an age perspective, there's many medications that are then immediately given to the older patient population over 65. But the ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism, excretion, all those factors are different than somebody who's much younger.
Yeah.
We're now beginning to know, obviously, there's so much more research is going into women's health at last, not just seen as small men and the whole biological system, the hormonal system, exactly. But women weren't even allowed into clinical trials by the FDA until the 90s. I actually had a
Bananas, really, isn't it?
I actually had a Grazia. I won Grazia magazine's letter of the year last year. I did because after Mackenzie, I think it was Mackenzie and the WEF did a landmark report that it was costing trillions a year due to the imbalance, the bias in women's health. I really wanted to make sure that people were aware. So I actually wrote to Grazia to go and explain what the situation was. It was really more a call to action for women to put themselves forward for research, because it's almost like everybody's accountability as well to do so, raising the awareness about it. And so whether that's male, female, whether that's ages, and of course the diversity of ethnicities, of race, but also for me is the social determinants of health. And that's something that I'm really interested in, to bring that here to the UK.
Yeah.
I had some great discussions recently with Lord James O'Shaughnessy in the webinars that we did recently, learning about the opportunities that the UK has to bring. You know, everybody's always focused on the US because of the FDA guidance requirements for diversity inclusion planning for phase 3, still just phase 3, when we have just as diverse the patient population. So it's not just from a race and ethnicity, but how you live your life, the impact of your day-to-day that might have an impact on the pharmacology of the drugs.
Yeah.
So it's just so important to be able to get as much of that breadth of information